A few weeks ago, I shared a video about how to create a GMAT study plan as a working professional, and I was overwhelmed with the response that I got. My inbox was flooded with messages from you all asking me to share my actual GMAT study plan template, and I realized that I had something that could actually help a lot of you, and I hadn't even properly introduced it yet. So today we are fixing that. Welcome back to my channel. I am Madhuri, an ISB alumna, a management professional, and your go-to person for all things education and career. If you are new here, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. And if you've been here a while, thank you. Genuinely, your support keeps me going. Today, I'm going to walk you through the GMAT Focus Edition study planner that I have built from scratch based on my own prep experience and everything I have learned from mentoring students over the past decade. I'll show you how this study planner works, why I built it the way that I did, and why I think it is one of the most useful tools you can have as a GMAT aspirant right now. Let's get started. I want to address a basic question first because I know some of you are sitting there thinking, Madhuri, can't I just ask ChatGPT to make a study plan for me? Yes, you can. I'm not going to pretend that you cannot. But here is what actually happens when you do that. You open ChatGPT, you type, make me a GMAT study plan, and it gives you something back in 30 seconds. It looks great, it has a generic high-level weekly goal for you. You copy it, maybe paste it into a doc. You wake up energized your first day, ready to start studying. You open the plan that ChatGPT created for you. It tells you what you have to study that week, and you start thinking, where should I start though? Which topic should I do first? How much time should I spend on it? Should I just study or solve some questions as well? Where should I solve those questions from? So many decisions to make in that moment when you are already supposed to get started. And that is where it all fails. I have spoken to hundreds of GMAT aspirants over the past decade. Almost all of them have a study plan. Almost none of them have a system for actually executing it. And that is the difference between what AI gives you and what this planner does. This study planner that I have built will adjust itself to your study prep timeline, telling you exactly what to study each day by pacing topics as per difficulty level and frequency of occurrence on the exam, telling you how many questions to solve each day and from where, nudging you when you fall behind your daily target, yet motivating you to keep going, helping you track how many of your wrong answers were conceptual errors versus silly mistakes versus time pressure, showing you your score progress pattern over weeks, and automatically recalculating every single topic across every single week the moment you change your test date. That's an entire study system. I built the first version of this planner for my own GMAT preparation long before AI could write a study plan for you. And the reason it worked for me was because every morning I opened the plan, I knew exactly what I had to do that day. There was no decision fatigue, no figuring out where to start. Just open, read, execute. That is what I have rebuilt here, but significantly more powerful, significantly more structured, and aligned specifically to the GMAT Focus Edition that you are preparing for right now. So if you want a high-level study plan, use AI. It is free, it takes 30 seconds. But if you want a system that does everything I just described, you need to get this planner that I have built. Alright, let me show you how it works. I'm really stoked for you to see it. The first thing you do when you open this file is go to the setup sheet, which is the control center for everything, and fill in a few yellow cells. Your name, your target score, your current practice score, if you have one, your study start date, and your test date. Now here is where it gets interesting. The moment you enter your start date and your test date, the planner automatically calculates how many weeks of prep you have. You do not need to count on a calendar or do any math. It just tells you. If you have 13 weeks, it says 13. If you have 8, it says 8. And that single number drives everything else in the file. You also enter your prep platform, whether that is Magoosh, Manhattan, GMAT Club, Kaplan, Princeton, Crackverbal, or whatever study material you are using apart from OG. This is important because OG is not enough. I have said this 100 times in multiple videos that OG is not enough. That's one of the biggest mistakes I had made during my first attempt at the GMAT. Watch this video to know more about that, and check for yourself the GMAT Exam Strategy Masterclass that I have linked in the description and in the comments to know more about everything you need to succeed at the GMAT right with your first attempt. Okay, back to the study planner. Next, you enter the total number of questions available to you across each section for your prep platform and OG. The planner then distributes those questions across your weeks automatically, giving you a per week and a per day target for each question type from each platform. Based on all the information that you enter in the setup sheet, your daily plan is auto-calculated as per the number of weeks you have for your prep. So right from day one, you know, today I need to study this quant topic, this DI topic, this verbal topic, solve these many quant questions, these many verbal questions, these many DI questions. No guessing, no overthinking, just open the planner and do the work. Now let me show you the crux of the planner and where all the magic happens, the weekly sheets. There are 26 week sheets in this file which cover up to a 6-month plan. But here is what I want you to notice. The planner only shows you weeks relevant to your plan. If you have a 13-week plan, weeks 1 through 13 are fully populated with your study schedule, including first time studying and revision. Week 14 onwards will clearly tell you that it's outside of your current plan so that there is no confusion. Each week sheet is structured around a 7-day week. Days 1 through 5 are your study days, day 6 is full-length practice test, and day 7 is your review day, which I want to talk about in a moment because it is genuinely the most important day of the week. For each of the 5 days, the planner tells you what topic to study for quant and what to study for verbal and data insights. These topics are sequenced in a specific order. Foundational concepts first, then course development, then advanced topics, and then timed revision in the final weeks. The sequencing is not random. It is built around the GMAT Focus Edition syllabus and the order in which it makes most sense to learn these things based on difficulty level and the frequency at which those topics are tested in the exam. The yellow cells are where you do all your logging. At the end of each study day, you fill in how many questions you solved from your platform and from the official guide. That is it. The totals calculate themselves per day, per week, and across the entire plan. If you meet or exceed your daily target, the cell turns green. If you attempted questions but fell short, it turns red. You do not need to analyze whether you are on track. The color tells you immediately. Every time you solve a question, you are bound to get a few wrong answers, especially during your initial days. It is extremely important that you keep a track of what questions are going wrong and why. Most students skip this part, which is a mistake I want you to avoid. Stay with me for a minute and I'll tell you why this is important. The error log sheet is a dedicated sheet where you log every single question you get wrong. Every single one. I know, sounds tedious, but here's the thing. The students that I have mentored who have improved the fastest were not the ones who solved the most questions. They were the ones who understood why they were getting questions wrong and fixed those specific things. The error log does that analysis for you. For each wrong answer, you note the question type, the topic, the source, and this is the important part, the error type. Was it a conceptual gap? Did you misread the question? Was it time pressure or was it a silly mistake? The planner then auto counts your errors by question type and by error category. So at any point, you can look at the summary and see, I'm getting 34% of my PS questions wrong and most of those are conceptual errors in percentage questions. That tells you exactly where to focus next. This is the kind of data-driven approach that the planner is built around. Actual patterns in your performance that will help you improve faster than you think. That is what day 7 is for. You review all of your notes and identify patterns from your error log and spend that day focusing a little bit on the aspects that need work. I also want to address some concerns regarding data insights and specifically regarding data sufficiency, which was earlier a type of question included within quant but has been moved to the DI section for the GMAT Focus Edition. These questions feel different from everything else on the exam. In a standard quant problem solving question, you solve and find an answer. In DS, you are not asked to solve. You are asked to evaluate whether the given information is enough to solve. It is a completely different mental process and can be overwhelming when you start. So based on your study timeline, I have a special note built into the planner that appears automatically in the study schedule whenever the first DS topics are planned for you. It reminds you that feeling overwhelmed about DS is normal, it clicks with practice, and that logging your DS errors carefully in the error log sheet is especially important in the early weeks. Be patient with yourself on this one, it gets easier. Speaking of notes, this next one is close to my heart. I have a dedicated sheet in this planner called the Study Buddy Tips. Think of it as me sitting next to you throughout your entire prep journey, giving you a nudge in the right direction every step of the way. It has phase-by-phase tips for each stage of your prep, covering what to focus on, what traps to watch out for, and how to pace yourself. There is also a quick reference card for each question type because knowing what a question is testing and how to approach it before you even start solving is half the battle won. Everything in there is based on my own prep journey and a decade of teaching GMAT to students just like you. So whether you are feeling confident or hitting a rough patch, the Study Buddy tips sheet has your back. The final piece I want to show you is the progress dashboard. This is where you log your practice test scores, your total score, your quant score, your verbal score and your DI score after each full-length test every week. As you fill in more scores over time, the score progression chart updates automatically and you can literally watch your scores improve week by week. And on the weeks when they do not improve, which will happen, I promise you, the chart helps you see the overall trend rather than fixating on one bad test. I still remember I had a mock test 2 weeks before my exam where my score dropped significantly from the previous test. Without a chart showing me the trend of where I was going, I would have panicked. But with this trend visible, I could see that overall I was moving in the right direction and that particular test was an outlier. That perspective is invaluable, especially in the final review days and your prep days. Now let me be clear about who this planner is designed for. It is for anyone who is serious about their GMAT prep and wants a structured, data-driven approach to their preparation. It works whether you have 1 month, 2 months, 4 months, 3 months, 6 months. It works whether you are a working professional studying 2 hours a day or a full-time student with more bandwidth. The planner adjusts to your timeline. In fact, if you have 4 weeks or less, there is also an alert built into the setup sheet that will flag this as a high-intensity plan and give you specific guidance on how to approach it to make your timeline work for you. The link to get the planner is in the description box and pinned in the comments. If you have any questions about how it works, drop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer. And if you have already started using it, I would genuinely love to hear how it is going for you. Leave a comment, send me a message on Instagram or drop a review on the product page. Every piece of feedback helps me make it better for more students like you. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who you know who is preparing for the GMAT. The more people who find this useful, the more I can keep making content like this and products like these to help you achieve your goals. Remember, I'm here for you way beyond your GMAT prep and can't wait to work with you to make your goals a reality. Subscribe now if you haven't and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.